Hey, Jorge Estrada, welcome back. Today I want to share my last update on Trump watches, and there's a few things I still want to bring up. Why? Again, because fair is fair, and at the end I'm gonna let you know my opinion after what I have experienced. But there's also some other things I want to bring out, which hopefully help you to see things in a clearer way and not follow or fall for these gossips that you see online, or misconceptions, or just flat out misinformation. Again, fair is fair, and we have to look at the product. I don't care if you like him as a person or not. We have to look at the product. And also my experience now with the company, which I said in my last update that I asked if there was a way to call them and see if we can phone, because I have a few questions. And she said she prefers email. It's better for her to respond, and I get it. I prefer email too. You can read, you get your data, you send an email back, and I get that. But I sent this email on October 16th, and now is November 4. So that's quite some time where I think he had enough time to answer that. And it's a few questions. I mean, I don't want to rattle them all down for you now, but it is a lot of questions, and also my recommendation that the best defense is offense. And I said, many people questioning your product. Why don't you go out and contact those watch reviewers? Not me necessarily, because I don't have a huge following. It's just a hobby for me. I'm a firearms dealer. I'm not a watch dealer. I don't want to become a watch dealer. It is a hobby. It is an interest because of mechanical watches that interests me, the movement. But I said, I'll do it if you trust me. But I was recommending other channels and say, if I were you, and it's all good faith, I'm not trying to take over or tell them what to do, but I said I would do that. I would recommend that, because the watch world is big, and it's one thing if you sell sneakers or trading cards or something that has limited interest, in my opinion, unless you're a fan of that person who's doing it. But if you have watches, that is a worldwide phenomena, that hobby that people are interested in. So I said, you didn't poke the hornet's nest, so to say, but you got a lot of people's attention. And so I said, in my opinion, it's the best if you go out and answer all those questions, showcase your product, and let people see what you got. And again, I sent this on October 16. So far, no answer. So I want to do my last update, and then I show you some stuff again online. Hope to clarify things, because you have to look out for the good and the bad. And then I give you my final thought on it, and then that's it for me. Then I'll move on and leave them alone, and leave you alone when it comes to Trump watches. So if you do hear a little background noise, I apologize. It's windy here today in Texas. I still have my flag up. You might hear it in the background. It's an appeal to heaven. So hopefully tomorrow we can all take a breather and then be American and move forward together. But let's get through some ideas and my experience, and then again, then I hope you have enough to make up your own mind if you want to follow through, or if you want to believe the lies, or if you just ignore it, like that's what I'm gonna do probably. So let's see what we got. Okay, so here we are back on the website gettrumpwatches.com, pulling up here on the To Be On page, and there's not much information, not much new information. I just wanted to let you know a few things. Again, I apologize for the scrolling. I still haven't figured out how to integrate it, so I'm videotaping the computer screen. And the one thing I want to not make clear, but point out is this nonsense about the blue screws. And it's a surefire dead giveaway. It's Chinese made and yada yada yada. And please, I'm by no means a watch expert. I'm just an enthusiast. I use the same internet that you do. I contact people. I look at websites. I ask questions. And while it is true that Chinese makers, which they also have high horology, just as an example, they have used blue screws, of course, and some are heat treated and some are just painted and whatnot. But other manufacturers use it too. Non-Chinese manufacturers use it too. So this is absolutely nonsense. Do not jump on the train, please, because it makes you look ignorant. And just as a clear example, this movement, there's also saying this movement has no numbers, they don't exist, blah blah blah, must be Chinese, must be crap. No, it has always been talked about. It is the BCP tourbillon made by Olivier Maury. And even here on the technical scheme, do you see anything that people gets upset? Is a damn blue screws. They're even here on the, let me get this even bigger. They're here, right here on the technical schematic, and people get upset because it's right here in a finished product, which there's also something interesting in the finished product. But again, just the fact that it's blue screws does not make it Chinese. Here, from the maker, blue screws. Another thing, if you would have done your research, and I get some people just start out collecting watches, some people do it for hundreds of years. It's all nice and dandy, but don't become arrogant, ignorant, or putting out false information just because there's something you personally don't like about the product or the person behind it. And again, Trump is not a watchmaker, he's not a reseller, he just licensed his freaking name. So get a life. But another example, Frédéric Constant, look at that. Tourbillon, Swiss made, blue screws. Oh my God. I think I heard some heads explode. Please don't jump on the train wagon, on the train. Oh, here, Yema. Oh my God. Have you seen that? Looks awfully familiar, right? So, it has no blue screws. So they chose different screws. You know who made that? It's the same thing. Olivier Maury. He works for Yema. Or he collaborates with them, or however their relationship is. But that's where it comes from. So we go back on the tourbillon. Also, people complain, or people pointed out down here with the specifications. You know, power reserve, all this good stuff. And then they see here mainspring torque. Oh my God, we have never seen that. Or how outrageous, or why is it on here? Well, why is it on here? Because again, the maker of that movement puts it on their data sheet. And that's how it got on there, because they wanted to share this. I don't know why they wanted to specifically share this, but it is data from the manufacturing maker, from the maker of the manufacturer movement. I'm sorry. See, I'm getting all riled up now. From the maker of the movement, they just copy and paste on their website. Okay? Can we get over this, please? So, with that being said, here, these pictures, it says it's renderings and stuff, but there is a prototype, and apparently that prototype was being given to Donald Trump. So, I looked around to see if there's any way we have pictures of a real watch. It's also one of the things I ask in the email, if there's any way people can see the product. Now, again, it bothers me that I haven't received an answer, but there is a page on X. It is Get Trump Watches. And I cannot pull it up here because I'm not logged in, but I downloaded the picture. And now look at this. I mean, either I'm falling here for more renderings, but that looks awfully real to me. And that could be the prototype. And it's on X. If you have an X account, you can easily find it. There's more pictures, but that could be the prototype. Now, do you see anything that looks different than on the website? Let me zoom in. Anything? Let me zoom in. Anything? Yeah, no blue screws. So that might be the final product. Or maybe the final product is with the blue screws. I do not know because they don't answer their emails. I can only speculate. But it looks real to me. I mean, unless I'm really just imagining things. That could be the prototype. They gotta have one. I mean, you know. And I believe Trump got it. I don't know why he's not showing it off. But he has, if he has a great taste in watches, so I'm not surprised if he would actually wear something else on a daily and not this one. It is a little bit far out with the diamonds, but again, it's not ugly. It's a little boring, but not ugly. But that's not the point of this video. It's again doing research, looking up for facts, and not just jumping on a train and saying, you know, has to be this or has to be that, because that's just simply not true. So that's for me for the tourbillon. If you want to spend $100,000, you know, it's a free country, but there's also plenty of other things to choose from. If you look at the fighter, I said from the beginning they're gonna sell out, and what I didn't know at the time is that they constantly add different variations. So that's actually pretty smart. They are nice looking models in there, and they start at $499, and the next higher up is $799. Here, look, they're all sold out. And for a micro brand that is using most likely a Chinese made case and Japanese or Taiwanese movement, a third party movement, $499 is absolutely nothing ridiculous. This is a fair price. You pay this all day long for other micro brands. The $799 is like this one. It is to me it's too high to pay that, simply for the fact that you can, in that price range, you can absolutely put in at least a Swiss movement. Not saying the Japanese or Taiwanese NH38s, NH35, all these are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for that price range, you could have done a deal with a Swiss movement maker, since your other one is Swiss made. Case in point, if you look at WREN, they are fairly new on the market. This is their second watch that they came out with, is the Diver 1 Snow 965. It's not too far away from $799, but I think the first model was in the 800s. I want to say 890. I don't know. Don't hold me to it. I like how they look. They're just too big for me. Like I said, I prefer smaller watches. This is a 41 millimeter case. Right now, I have a 35 millimeter on my wrist. Absolutely love my 36 millimeter vintage Seamaster, which to me is the perfect watch for everything. And I'm actually looking for a 38 millimeter to close that gap, because even my 40 millimeters annoy me most of the time. And I do have a G-Shock that, yeah, it's just too big. But again, that's just my opinion. What I'm trying to tell you is that it is possible to put a Swiss-made movement in there. And they have the WREN, they use the SW200, I believe. Yes, Sellita SW200. So it's absolutely possible to do that. I would have preferred the Trump company or the Trump watches company to do that. They made a different choice and they had their pricing. And again, it's not, I don't want to say it's overpriced. It's not unfair. It's not a ripoff. Check out micro brands all day long, $4.99, $7.99 for those kind of watches. I would bet money the case is Swiss made. It's Chinese made. The assembly is somewhere overseas. I 100% would bet money on it. And again, there's nothing wrong, because even big watchmakers make their cases in China. Not all of them, but more than you probably think. They just would never admit it, because then people would not pay their premium prices again anymore for their products. So it's a curse and a blessing, because people take advantage of it. Makers take advantage of it. So I wouldn't even be surprised if the tourbillon, I said it in my earlier videos, I wouldn't be surprised if the case was in fact made in China and the movement is Swiss, and then assembly, I don't know. They never answered my email. Then we would know. I would love for them to get out and put out the data. There's hundreds of watch reviewers out there on YouTube or other channels or whatever, or other avenues, not just YouTube, but you know what I mean, like blogs and other websites. And if I had a product like that, I would absolutely make sure, give one an exclusive interview. I mean, pick one, or you cannot send out hundreds of watches. I get that. But get the information out, be upfront with it, go in the offense and say, hey, this is what we have, and this is how it's, or this is where it's made, or, you don't want to sell your secrets. I get that too, but go in the offense, and then people say, okay, you're transparent and I'm willing to pay that money, and this is the product that I get. And it bothers me that they don't. So now if you ask me, if you follow my channel, you know who I'm voting for. And that has nothing to do with my personal opinion, because I had issues with the firearms brand Taurus, and that was also not necessarily the product, but the people behind it. And I have the same issue with TrumpWatches.com or GetTrumpWatches.com, where the product looks okay, the specs are real, it looks like a real product. But I have issues that, again, I cannot, they don't let me call. They don't share a phone number. And then in 3 weeks, they don't answer their emails with important questions. And that bothers me. So no, they will not get my money. I do not recommend you giving them your money. And if you have $100,000 to spend, you better see them in person, or get something absolutely in writing that you make sure that you either A, get a product, or B, get your money back. If I had $100,000, I would not be spending on this watch. Again, there is, in that price range, there is plenty to choose from. Higher quality, more accuracy, more rarity, whatever you want. It's and at the end of the day, you still have money for dinner and other stuff. So that is my personal opinion, but I do not want you to take this video and say, okay, Chinese made crap and I don't want it. No, don't. We have to be fair. I gave you my opinion. I showed you. You can find the information out there. Be fair, and then we go from there. And then, again, if you don't like it, you just don't buy it. But don't spread nonsense just because you don't like the man whose name is here on the dial. Look at the product and be fair, and then we move on. I mean, if any other politician would bring out a watch, I'd look at it too. Maybe it's a good watch. Maybe it looks cool. Maybe not. But again, be fair about it. And and if the maker is using blue screws in the damn schematic, then don't tell me it's Chinese made, because it's clearly not. And that's just that. I mean, do your homework and don't spread misinformation. So that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not an expert. I'm just an enthusiast. I like stuff mechanical stuff. I also like facts, and I would like to hear from the people behind it. And Maury never responded. Trump watchers never responded. And I sent an email to somebody else. I honestly don't remember. To a jeweler. Yes, I also sent an email to a jeweler to see what the value could be, or how this is all measured, because I said in my last video I'm not a diamond guy. So they also never responded. They probably said, Estrada, who the hell are you? And that's fine, because I'm moving on. I'm not upset. I would not purchase that watch for that money anyway. I just thought I want to be fair and give facts out to the people, instead of having here so-called watch experts, quotation marks, giving out nonsense just because they don't like the man behind it. He's not even behind it. Just, again, the man whose name is on the dial. And that's just it from me. So I hope this video helps you, and that is that. And that's that. I mean, I've showed you everything that I know right now, that I gathered, the information that's out there for everybody to see. My opinion is, clearly, I applaud every micro brand that's out there, everyone that wants to bring something new to the market. It's good to have choices. I mean, it's great for the consumer, right? It's a free country. We have trade agreements with other countries. It's beautiful to have choices. You don't have to like it necessarily, but that's what it makes so great, that if you don't like it, you move on and spend your money somewhere else. And as you can see, I'm wearing a KUOE Royal Smith. It's a Japanese micro brand, and it's a 35mm case. I love smaller watches. They don't look so bulky and heavy and ugly. And I would really go out and buy a Trump watch, just the lesser expensive model, just to have one, put it in the safe and see where it goes. As you could clearly see, they do sell out, unless that's fake news. I don't know, I doubt it. But I would be careful sending them money. I would definitely not sending them $100,000, solely based on the fact that they don't come out with more information, they don't go in the offense, and they obviously don't reply to the emails, and then also saying they prefer email, not giving out a phone number, and then not replying to the email. So it's, again, not necessarily the product, but the people behind it. And again, it's not Be Fair, it's not Trump. This is a separate business entity. It's their responsibility to give out the information. They're responsible for the content, for the product, for the merchandise, for the money, the delivery. They are responsible of research, design, everything. So they are responsible. And solely for the fact that I have more issues with the company than the product, that makes me stay away from it. And that's my honest opinion. And if you want to spend $100,000 on a watch, there's so much to choose from. You can actually pick even something from the Holy Trinity, if you believe in that a concept, and even have plenty of money left over to go out for dinner, and it might be maybe even still buy a car with the rest of that money. So that's my opinion. I hope it helps you to make up your mind. But fair is fair, and I'll move on. Thank you so much. Be safe out there, and go vote tomorrow. Big day. Be proud, be American, and be safe.